YouTube, it's Longshot, and I'm back again with another video, and today we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be going over my creative class setups that I use with my team Rampant Gaming during our competitive GB matches. I would like to point out that these classes are not to be taken as being the most optimum loadout. This is just a reflection of the classes I use to fulfill my role on my team. Now, on Rampant Gaming, my job and responsibility is to get behind the other team and create lots of pressure on their flank, or to split from my own team and hopefully catch one of their players on a rotation and get our team an early pick. You'll see that I have 10 loadouts available. I'm only going to be going over the 6 most popular ones that I would use. The reason for that is the other 4 are just minor tweaks to the other 6. So if I'm having a bad day and something's not working on a certain class, sometimes tweaking one perk can give me a little bit of an edge to get me through that game. So looking at our first loadout, you'll see I'm playing a very aggressive submachine gun class. You'll notice that I'm using the Vector. So when Call of Duty Ghosts first came out, the MTAR was by far the most dominant of the submachine guns. However, through the lifespan of Call of Duty Ghosts and through patches, the Vector has taken its place as the best submachine gun. You'll see that for the attachments, I do take the foregrip as well as the muzzle brake. Now, you'll see a lot of people using the red dot muzzle brake combination. However, I don't benefit from the red dot, so again, this is personal for me. The underbarrel foregrip does give me reduced recoil. It just makes the gun feel better in my hand, and it gives me that edge at medium to long range gunfights, and the muzzle brake just complements that. I won't be taking a secondary weapon on this class, as the handgun I don't need the extra mobility or a secondary gun, and launchers are banned out of competitive play, of course. Now for my lethals and tacticals, I leave those both blank for this class. The reason for that is I'm building a super soldier class and I'm going to be in lots of different situations, and I need to be a well-rounded class. So the first perk I take is Ready Up. Now, Call of Duty Ghosts is a very connection-based game, and I say that because this is a game that the health for a soldier is much lower compared to the other Call of Duties. So getting those first couple shots off can really make or break a gunfight, so Ready Up just gives you that competitive edge. You'll also see that I take Marathon as well as Lightweight. Now normally I'm not going to take both of these perks on a class, however I'm a very in-your-face aggressive class and I need the mobility that the submachine gun provides, and I need to complement that. You'll also see that I take Focus and Steady Aim. Normally, again, I will not be taking both of these on the same class. However, the best situation example I can give you is on Sovereign. If I'm playing on Green Street, I really need Focus to help me win those longer to mid-range gunfights. If I run into an AR or a submachine gun with Focus, I'm probably not going to win that gunfight just due to the range. However, if my team rotates over to B, or we're just doing a B push, Steady Aim helps me with really beating those other submachine guns, or if I run into a shotgun. And Dead Silence, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. I'm going to use it on every single class. You should use it on every single class. It's the best and most important perk in this game. Now going down to the strike package, I do have Specialist used, as the assault and supports are both banned out of competitive play. This isn't too important, and the reason I say that is I play mostly Search and Destroy, and it's just such a very adaptive game mode that you're probably not going to be able to get away with playing the same class every single round. And you have to expect that you're going to be playing teams that are either the same or a higher skill range than you are. So the fact that you think you're going to be dropping 9 to 10 kills a game is just not realistic without switching classes. So if you're playing against a team that's very, very aggressive and you're matching their aggression and winning, they're probably going to switch to playing a more passive game style, which just may not work when you're playing this class, and you may have to adapt yourself. So I do take Sleight of Hand in here, and the reason this isn't the main perk is I feel personally that in a 4v4 game mode, you're not going to be able to run into a situation where you need to reload mid-gunfight, and if you do, you probably already have the kills to get you Sleight of Hand to give you that quicker reloading. And there isn't really a perk in my original picks that I would sacrifice to pick that up in case I do run into 3. My second one is going to be Incog. This is just a very protective, safe perk choice. I don't want to use it in my later picks because it will force me to take a single pick or a second 3 point perk. And my 4th perks are all very defensive, being Blast Shield, Tack Resist, and ICU. It just helps me protect my kill streak when I'm on it, and I do take Sit Rep. This is the only class I'm going to play Sit Rep on, and the reason is, again, I'm already getting behind them. If the other team uses a trophy system, it will help me hunt down either what side that team's pushing, or it'll help me take out someone who's playing a key defensive role for that team. Moving on to the second loadout, this is going to be a very aggressive assault rifle class. Again, the Remington is going to be by far the most powerful and well-rounded assault rifle, and it's used for every player in the competitive scene. Now, I do again use foregrip to help me with my long and medium range gunfights. You will see a lot of people using the red dot muzzle brake combination on this again. However, I will sacrifice muzzle brake for that foregrip, as I do not have the best shot. My role on the team is not normally to lock down a single position. I need that foregrip to make myself a more consistent player. And when using an AR, you do, in my opinion, need a sight on that, and I'm more comfortable with a red dot compared to a thermal, so I will be playing this on my more popular class. Since I'm rushing a lot on this class and racing to get to a key position to hold for my team, I will be using a secondary P226. Not only will this give me the mobility I need, but it will help me in some close range gunfights if I'm caught reloading on my Remington, as I do only get a limited amount of shots from my Remington. Now, the P226 is my choice because I'm not the strongest at my trigger finger. If I was, I would be taking the MP443. However, I find the P226 just complements my playstyle a lot more. And when we go into the attachments, there isn't a whole lot of options for the P226, especially after the bans from competitive play, but the muzzle brake is by far your best choice. I would highly recommend that. I will be taking a lethal in this class. The reason is if I can clear, if I'm rushing a position and I can get a hit marker on my grenade, then it will let me know to play more passive. Whereas if I don't get a hit marker, I may be able to risk going a little bit further than normal. For example, if I'm playing on Warhawk on defense and I'm rushing B, I can throw a grenade, and if I hit someone, I'll probably stay back around tin and water tower. But if I do land a hit, or if I do not land a hit marker, I may get risky and push all the way into loading bay to get a better position on the other team. Now, for my perks for this, again, I'm going to be taking Ready Up to give me that competitive edge. Since I am rushing and maybe pushing further and overextending, I will be taking Agility and Marathon again. Dead Silence I don't really have to explain too much, and for the focus, I'm using a long range weapon, and I can't see anything that I would replace to get rid of the flinch when hit reduction, because it helps you win those gunfights. There's so much bounce when you get shot that this just really makes you, again, more well-rounded. Looking at the strike package, I will be taking my same perks. The only exception is Sit Rep changed for Scavenger. The reason being, even if I do find another person using a trophy system, I'm not going to be using a weapon where I'm comfortable rushing their location. Instead, I'm going to be using Scavenger to help me keep my Remington stocked and let me play my position. My third loadout is going to be an aggressive sniper class. Now, between the two snipers that are normally used is the USR and the L115, the L115 does provide more damage, the USR just feels better, and I'm more comfortable using that sniper. Unfortunately, I do get a lot more hit markers with this weapon, but I find it worth it compared to missing my shots. I do take the Chrome Line Barrel, which does increase the damage to help me regulate how many hit markers I get. It doesn't remove that threat completely, but it does help. It does give you, however, increased kick, and it does make your aiming a little bit harder. I do take a thermal scope. The reason I take this is when I'm playing my aggressive, rushing, cross-map sniping class, I really need to be able to tell how many people are crossing. So if there's a team that uses a smoke, for example, on Octane to cross over to Motel, I want to be able to give my team rushing B as much intel as I can on what to expect when they get there. I do use the P226 again. I use it for mobility, and if I run into a gunfight up close, I want to be able to put my sniper away and hopefully deal with the threat. I'm not going to use a lethal or tactical because I need as many perks as I can on this class just to get me the mobility that I need. I will be taking Ready Up again. to give me the competitive edge. I will be taking agility over marathon. Now, the reason I chose agility is because with sniping, you want to rush to a key location, and I don't need sustained running capability. So just running to one position, I find agility has a better payoff. I will be taking quick draw since I don't have another weapon other than my pistol. Hopefully if I do run into a threat and not able to change my weapon, I can hit a quick scope, or it just lets me pull my gun up faster. I do take dead silence on every single class, and focus, not only is it going to help you with counter shots with the reduced flinch when hit, but it does reduce the sway when I'm aiming down my sights, making my shots a lot easier to hit. Since I did sacrifice marathon to take my quick draw and my pistol, I will be taking that as my second perk instead of my incog. Now, since I sacrificed incog to take marathon again, I will be taking that instead of sit rep, scavenger, or ICU, and my single point will go to resilience because there aren't that many single point perks other than ready up that are going to be completely worth it. My fourth class that we're going to look at is a silenced vector class. Now, I'm only going to use this in two situations normally, one of them being a cross map rush on Warhawk, or when I'm going underground on Freight. So all we're doing on the attachments is switching the muzzle brake out for the silencer so you can break the gate. Now the gate's still going to make noise, but there's ways around completely giving away your position away, and the silence will keep you off the radar. We're not going to use a secondary because I don't need the mobility. I'm not going to need a lethal because I don't want to make too much noise. And I'm going to take a smoke to help cover me if I'm doing the cross rush on Warhawk. For my perks, I'm taking Ready Up for the same reasons and Dead Silence. I will be taking Agility because, again, I'm rushing to key locations. I don't need to be consistently sprinting. I just need to be able to get to a key point, which helps me really gain position and gives my team a huge advantage. I use Incog because it complements my smoke. I don't want to be caught on a cross-map rush. And Focus because I'm not going to be doing too many close quarters fights. Again, I'm going from underground on Freight, and I'm going on Warhawk through Gate. Neither of those are going to give you a close range situation that you're going to need. On the Specialist, again, I'm using Incog in my main one, sorry. So I'm going to be taking Marathon, since I didn't take it as one of my main perks. And since I'm using a submachine gun this time, I will be replacing my extra TAC resist with steady aim. The reason I'm not going to take TAC resist on this one is because if I get hit with a tactical on my rush, I have to completely cancel the rush. They know I'm coming, I'm already slowed, and I'm not going to be able to take them by surprise. I'm just going to take steady up and try and scavenge as much as I can from that play. My fifth class is going to be a hybrid sniper class. I'll use this a lot on maps like Freight, or if I'm not hitting my cross map snipes on Octane and I still want to snipe. I'm going to be taking my Vector with the 2 perks. The reason I'm doing that is I find that I'm going to get a lot more out of having double perks on my Vector instead of my USR. I can sacrifice my Thermal, but I don't want to get rid of either foregrip or muzzle brake on those maps. So I'm going to take these attachments for the same reason and the Chrome Barrel for the same reason. I'm not going to take a lethal or a tactical because I'm already spending a lot of points in my weapons. And in the perks, I'm going to take Ready Up, Dead Silence for the same reason, Agility for the same reason. I will be taking Overkill to allow me to take the 2 primary weapons, and I will be taking Reflex, and that's going to let me switch between my primary and secondary weapons faster. So another example that I'm going to provide you is if you're playing on Octane and you're top pawn sniping and your teammate calls out that someone's rushing pawn, you want to be able to switch to your other weapon as quickly as possible and get ready for that gunfight. You don't want to be stuck switching weapons or with a sniper in your hand. Again, since we sacrifice Marathon for other points, we'll be taking that in our first Specialist bundle. Since Incog was not taken in our first patch, we're going to be taking Incog, Blast Shield, ICU, and Resilience for the same reasons. The final class we're going to go over is my Remington with a Thermal this time. I'm going to use this on Octane. Now, if I'm not hitting snipes at all, but I'm still responsible for watching that cross map, or just if I'm playing a little bit out of position and because their team's playing really passive. I'm going to be taking a Remington and try and get people off head glitches, and also catch people planting or defusing bombs. I'm still going to use the grip for the same reason. I'm not going to use a secondary on this one because I'm not going to be rushing. I'm going to be locking down areas like the bomb, the cross maps, or catching people off head glitches in positions that I wasn't able to win sniper fights with. I will be using the concussion and lethal. Again, if I'm going to be counter sniping, I really need to be able to take their sniping away from them. If I don't get a hit marker on the concussion with them, I probably won't challenge and try and get a better angle. Or if I'm trying to clear and make sure there's someone there, I will use my concussion instead of my lethal because I want to keep that to take people off bombs. So as I just said, the lethal is going to be there because if I see someone on the bomb but they're laying behind it and I can't shoot them through it, I want to be able to hit them with a grenade. Or if I run out of tactical and I'm confident in being able to keep them off the bomb before they start planning, I'll use my lethal and try and clear people out. Going into the perks, we're going to be taking Ready Up, Dead Silence for the same reasons. I do need Agility and Marathon on this. I know I'm not taking the pistol for mobility, but with this class, there's going to be a lot of mid-map crossing, so I'm going to need the consistency of the Marathon as well as the agility speed, and agility is going to pay off a lot more than having to switch to my secondary. And focus, maps like Octane is really the only one I'm going to use this on. Sometimes I'll use it on Freight, so again, those long and mid-range gunfights are key, and I need focus to keep me at a competitive advantage. This is going to be the same standard specialist bundle. Again, we're not going to use sit rep because we're using a AR class and we do not want to rush into a gunfight we can't win. So we're going to feel a lot more comfortable keeping that scavenger ammo, keeping us up and letting us lock down positions. So those are my 6 classes. Again, the other 4, they're just going to be minor tweaks, maybe switching out a grenade for a specific perk, vice versa. But I really appreciate you guys watching the video and going over that with me. If you guys have any questions, just don't be afraid to put that in the comments below. And have a great day, guys. Thanks.